Yeah. Hey, I don't wanna hit a cap, you can save it. With my guys and we got it up the pavement. Listen up, it's what everybody's saying. Round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give I know they weak by the look in their faces. All of these rings got me feeling like Brady. Say what I feel, I don't care how you take it. Round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Yeah.
Give it up for the crowd favorite, man. Back at it again, episode 12. You know, it's crazy. Time flying, man. It's your boy Devo the Don, a.k.a. the kid that did. You dig what I'm saying?
That was a quick one.
Yeah.
It's your boy Trey, a.k.a. Him Not Them, Pac-Man on the track, Do Say Shot It, Himmy Turner, Him Jones, Him Duncan, all those things. Anything with him in it, because I'm him.
I like that. This is your boy D Jones, Mr. Well All Right, a.k.a. the alien in the room, a.k.a. the designated caster, a.k.a. a mic is only a mic until I speak on it. We are here, crowd favorite, your favorite sports podcast out there. Truly blessed again to be able to see 12 episodes in the game. I want to go ahead and give us another round of applause real fast because they say any podcast that lasts at least 7 episodes has something. So definitely shout out to us, you know what I'm saying,
Yes,
off the show with that. Keep on grinding, pushing forward, breaking barriers and setting all that good stuff. But yeah, man, let's jump right on into it. I think the biggest news will probably be Jalen. I think I agree. Yeah. So Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying, quarterback, Super Bowl appearing quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Kind of randomly just popped up on everybody's timeline yesterday that he signed a lucrative deal to stay with the team that he has, made his wonderful career thus far with. The Eagles. He signed a 5-year, $255 million deal that's worth. A 5-year, $179 million deal that's guaranteed, worth up to $255 million, with incentives and Pro Bowl appearances and other things like that. But $179 is guaranteed. That's big money. He now is the highest paid player in the NFL, and he's the highest. He's the highest paid quarterback in NFL history with that contract as well, making, I think they said, $51 million a year or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. $51 million a year, right above Aaron Rodgers, who originally set that record with $49 million a year. So they were saying, with that being said, $179 million guaranteed. That's not the most guaranteed money in the league because Deshaun Watson, we know, has $230, and that's what Lamar Jackson wants or better. $179 is the new, what they call it, the new reset, or the new
he reset the market.
Reset the market, yeah. And so, what's your thoughts on Lamar? Is Lamar gonna stay at the Ravens? He gonna go somewhere else? He gonna get a deal just like that? He gonna go take a little less? What's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, you got to shout out the man that got the deal done, because he
sure.
has an agent. And
she's a woman.
Yes.
Shout out to the Reds.
To that too, man.
Shout out to the Reds.
Yep.
The Reds too.
Yeah, shout out to the Reds. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, getting that deal done. Yes, tying in with Lamar is like, you got to think about it. Okay, this guy is in a category of only 9 players. Let me see if I can name them. You have Dan Marino. You have Peyton Manning. You had Peyton Manning. You had Drew Brees, I believe. You have Jalen Hurts in that category. Donovan McNabb. You had Joe Montana, and I'm missing 2 players. But anywho, these players that I just named, he's one of 9 to have 18 wins, 17 wins and 18 career starts. And there's only 9 people to do that. So that's impressive that he was able to get that done. So that's something that he was worthy for the money for. Took your team to the Super Bowl. Beat all odds. His story is crazy. Starting from Alabama, getting benched after you took that team to the national championship. Your teammate, you rooted for him. Y'all still win. You thrown into Devontae Smith, for that touchdown win, and now that's your teammate. It's a lot of things that's working in his favor, and just keeping the faith, man, is a reason that he got there too. But with Lamar, I bet you Lamar punching the air like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, I missed another opportunity. Now the remarket said, now my value probably has went low, and there has been some speculation with saying that if they can get D-Hop, but D-Hop, looking towards more the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills. So I don't know what he's gonna do. I think it's gonna be a trade on draft day. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him go to Indianapolis. Jim Irsay likes him. Jim Irsay will pull that trigger. It's just like, now this may be your third time's a charm. You know, since Andrew Luck, you've brought in Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz, and it didn't work out for you. Maybe this may be the one for you. So I could see him being traded. But as far as how the deal will go, since they have the fourth pick in the first round, the Colts, I think you can trade that one. And since the value has kind of decreased in the quarterback room because of Jalen Hurts' new deal, I can see them saying, hey, we're going to just give you this first, and then we'll restructure your own contract. And I think he'll have to, negotiate with the Colts or whoever on getting a new deal.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's pretty cool. It's a cool situation for Jalen, like you were saying before. He definitely is deserving of it. Had a great season, a great few seasons being there in Philly. It's kind of changed the dynamic of the team and whatnot too. They're actually having, they had that stint where they had Wentz and Foles rotating in whenever they went to their last Super Bowl and everything. But now they got a quarterback that is solidified that they're going to be able to make, potentially put like a franchise tag on somewhere down the line, like maybe after this contract's over with, or basically, for lack of better terms, like this is their franchise quarterback that they're going to be having for the foreseeing future. Going to Lamar, I feel like this probably definitely did hurt his situation. He's definitely probably not going to get that money that he thought he was going to end up getting, because I know if the Browns could go back and restructure that contract with Deshaun Watson, knowing all this stuff that he was bringing to the table or was going to be coming in the future with all this drama he has outside of football, they probably definitely wouldn't have invested all that money to him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Lamar's situation, he's probably just going to have to settle for some bread to be able to stay in Baltimore, or just might have to go somewhere else. But when you were talking about the Colts, it's kind of funny because when I think of Lamar, I think of somebody like John Morant too. So the reason why I kind of compare them is in sports, you kind of have players that thrive in certain areas that fit their personality, areas that fit just who they are as a person. And I think you had said something before, like if Ja were to go somewhere like the Spurs, like here to San Antonio or something of that nature, that's somewhere for him to actually sit down and focus on basketball. Not much trouble or not much rah-rah environments for him to get into that fit his character. You know what I'm saying? That's what some people see as a fun environment. But with Lamar, he grew up in Florida. He went to Louisville, and then he went out there to Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Being out there with Hollywood Brown and just having it was Hollywood Brown and then Marcus Peters, and running back. What was the running back's name? Ingram. They all had a really good relationship out there. I know they were going out there having fun, all that type of stuff. But I feel like in the NFL, especially and major sports, period, when you have a say so with where you go, signing for contracts, all those different types of things, he's not going to be going for, no matter how good the team may be or how much how well the situation looks. I couldn't see him going to somewhere like Indianapolis or somewhere dry like that, even though that's just football aside. I'm thinking about the character of the player. So with that being said, I feel like he's probably gonna try to figure out a way to stay in Baltimore, because if I'm him, I'm like, yo, we just got Odell, knowing this isn't prime Odell Beckham, but he's leaps and bounds ahead of the receivers that you have right now. You got what you've been asking for. You want number one receiver. You want a good target to go out there, throw to, besides having your tight end Andrews to check down to and stuff. So being that I got that, I'll be like, okay, cool. Let me try to capitalize on this opportunity, because that would be a disservice. I mean, not saying that he needs to be thinking about Odell, but that's a disservice to Odell and the whole city too, because it's like, dang, we just got a big time receiver. We already got a big time quarterback that's trying to work out his contract and whatnot. And I would want to stay there just to try to see what I can make shake. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he just kind of takes it on the chin and just be like, yeah, let me just go ahead and take what bread I can get. Not saying that they're going to give him something super, super low, just trying to lowball him. But, bruh, take what money you can get. Take a 1-year contract, something like that. That way, if it doesn't work out the way you want it to, use this season to catapult yourself. Catapult yourself, sell yourself to other teams and stuff. That way, nobody has an excuse not to give you the money that you want. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I think about it.
Man, a couple of things. One, I think this is why I have a little more respect for Odell. Odell, saw the situation that was in front of him and just, took the opportunity in front of him. That's what I was saying last episode too. The more I think about this, I don't think that Odell cared at all about Lamar being there or not. He's had 2 major injuries on his knees. he knows this might be his last opportunity. If he get another injury, he got to get that bag. I'm taking this $18 million, you know what I'm saying, 15 up to 18, you know what I'm saying, and going, I don't care who I don't care if you throwing me the ball, you know what I'm saying, I just need to go out and get my money. And then hopefully I do good and I get a bigger contract here or somewhere else next year. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's betting on. With Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying, again, definitely congrats to him, everything he's accomplished, his whole story, you know, being benched in the championship game, coming back the next year, then transferring to Oklahoma, you know, going out there when did he win the Heisman? No, he didn't win the Heisman.
He was a finalist.
Yeah, finalist in the Heisman. But Lincoln Riley is definitely somebody who, you know, definitely gets these quarterbacks where they need to be, for sure. But back to Lamar, man. So for one, I think Lamar has almost at this point lost all his power, because at the end of the day, like he is a franchise tag player. You know, it's an exclusive tag. That team can trade him wherever they think is the best deal. You know what I'm saying? If it's Indianapolis, if it's Houston, if it's the Cardinals, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, they can go call Cardinals right now and say, give us Kyler Murray. We'll give you Lamar, swap picks, whatever. He can be in Arizona, like,
Or Hollywood.
You know what I'm saying, but his old teammate, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, he has no power at this point. One thing I do think, though, and I definitely agree with your point you made so eloquently, Trey, like, certain cultures are not good for certain players. I do think that somebody like Lamar Jackson should be weary of where he goes, or if he does get traded again because he has no power to certain cities, make sure he has a good team that can keep him grounded. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we both said, like, Houston would be amazing, Houston might be a bad situation for him, city-wise. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot popping in Houston.
He would have his own steakhouse. He
Right,
would
you know
have
what I'm saying?
his own strip club.
You know what I'm saying? A lot going on in Houston.
He'll be
It's
having all that.
one of the most popular cities in the country. So, I mean, that might not be a good place for him. Indianapolis might be a good place because it's so quiet. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing there but the sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a basketball town, too, at that. So, it might be, but I don't know. But I do think that, you know, with him, and I also want to say I disagree with your point, Trey. It was a good point. I disagree with the Deshaun Watson thing. Reason why is because I think when you have a player with Deshaun Watson's situation, like, you're doing all your homework before I give you this contract. You know what I'm saying? They had to know, like, he still had those pending cases. They knew he was going to get suspended. But at the time, like, he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks at that time. We are the Browns. We have been horrible for decades. We need to make some kind of splash. And, like, he was the big prize. You know what I'm saying? I think any quarterback that was up for that time probably got that contract. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, with Lamar, man, I don't feel bad for him in the sense of he should have had an agent a long time ago, but I do feel bad for him because he's a black man and with everything going on, like, don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's almost going to be, you know, forced to go play somewhere and he's going to hold out and then keep paying all this money. You know, them fees get bigger and bigger each week when you hold out because he doesn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And he did say sign Odell and D-Hop and I will talk. Well, D-Hop has already made it clear. He didn't even put them in the running. Yeah. He said there's 2 teams I want to go to. We'll get to that later. But, you know, I just think that, you know, with this whole situation, Lamar has kind of, you know, screwed himself over. And just got to, you know, I would go there tomorrow and be like, hey, just trade me somewhere, please. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk to the team. Who you talking to? You talking to them? Okay, cool. Mama, whoever, go talk to them. I'm going to sign this. I'll sign the same thing Jalen Hurts signed. Say that. I might get you signed. You know what I'm saying? Say you want 230 guaranteed or more. Like, sign what he signed. Shit, give me 170. He'll be signed tomorrow. Crazy enough, though, Baltimore offered him 170. Mm-hmm. He said no.
Yeah, and I feel like the chemistry in Baltimore, like, I like what you're saying. Like, he should just go back, but I feel like, imagine you at a place where, you know, they valued you at one point, and then when it's time to restructure your contract, they don't value you. And then you already publicly said, like, hey, I ain't trying to, you know, play with y'all no more. And then you going to ask to come back? Like, I just feel like that the chemistry is already broken, and I don't know how you can repair that when he already, like, publicized, like, hey, I'm not trying to be in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. You know, but yeah.
So real quick trigger, like, in 10 words or less, where's Lamar end up?
Indianapolis.
Dre?
The crib, probably. Holding out.
Yeah. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Houston. I think honestly they have the best, like, package they can get. You know what I'm saying, for him, for sure. I mean, 2 picks in the top 20.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna say no to that, and it's the second overall pick too. Like, by Lamar. So yeah, that's dope. Jumping into a player we spoke on recently, right now, or I guess in that conversation, DeAndre Hopkins. If you didn't hear about him, he said basically, they asked him about 4 teams. They asked him about the Patriots, the Jets, the Bills, and the Chiefs. It was kind of in a pattern too. They asked him about the Patriots first. He kind of like shook his head, nah. They asked him about the Buffalo Bills. He was like, I'll go there. They asked him about the Jets. He kind of shook his head no, which was kind of interesting. And then they asked him about the Chiefs, and he said, I'll go there. So basically, and I saw somebody earlier, I think Von Miller tweeted earlier, he's like, D-Hop is coming here. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these players have connections outside of the stadiums. What's your thoughts on DeAndre Hopkins?
I think Buffalo would help him out a lot, but I really like him with the Chiefs. I feel like anybody that's with Pat Mahomes is going to be successful. Josh Allen, I feel that, but I mean, you can see that they even got like wide receiver quarterback drumming with Stephon Diggs. I feel like Stephon, he's the guy there. When you put D-Hop there, it's like he got to understand his role, and if his role is not being the guy, like, you may clash with the personalities, even though he's more mellow and a little older than Stephon. It's just at the same time, it's like, y'all just, showed us on national TV that, Stephon is angry with Josh Allen.
Who's the one?
Who's the one?
Who's the X if he go there?
If I'm saying that, I think I would put DeAndre Hopkins at the X because you can utilize Stephon on the inside as well. And I feel like that gives him more leverage over the DBs, versus, we know
reasons for
what D-Hop going to do. Like, D-Hop is about 2-3 inches taller. You know what I'm saying? You could throw his catching radius is a little bit higher. I feel like he doesn't have to work as hard as Stephon. That's my take. And then you can also have Gabriel Davis with a lesser role, putting him, wide receiver 3. But with the Chiefs are closer to getting to another Super Bowl. Like, why not pick that team? Like who's number one there? Who's number one with Kansas City right now?
Kelsey.
No, not
receiver.
Yeah.
Like,
we know Kelsey's the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like who's like the number one target. You had Sammy Watkins a while ago before the Super Bowl, but you just got rid of Juju. Went to the Patriots, and then you have Sky Moore. You don't really have the guy. Like, I feel like if DeAndre Hopkins still feels like he could be the guy, then go to Kansas City. If you want to try to, dig the Bills, out of hole and get them their first Super Bowl, then might as well, go, to the Bills. If y'all see something like the vision, you know what I'm saying? Like, clearly Von Miller had the vision because he should have been in Dallas. If you ask me, but I say Kansas City. You got a better chance. Andy Reid is the man. Big Red. Like, I feel like he can get another Super Bowl before it's all said and done with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, to add on to that, I feel like if he were to go to the Bills, it wouldn't last long. Because it kind of goes back to our conversation we had about the Mavericks whenever they first signed Kyrie. Like, I had plenty of people tell me, like, oh, bro, that's not going to last because you got two star players, essentially, trying to coexist on the court. Like, not just star players, but two players that need to have the ball in their hand to facilitate. Then after a while, you're going to realize, okay, this may not work like how we thought it was. When you got big threes, like when you got D-Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, 3 different positions that can all kind of coexist with each other, that's cool. But I feel like it never really works with guards. And then when we go into receivers, both of these guys are 2 number 1 receivers. So Stephon's used to getting a certain amount of targets per game and stuff, but then D-Hop gets there, he's used to getting a certain amount, and it's going to be chopped in half for both of them. Or one might get more, one might get less. And then, like you were saying, Stephon might start beefing with Josh Allen and whatnot, and it just might break up the family atmosphere that they got at the in Buffalo already. So I feel like it wouldn't really last too long. If he went there, could they do some damage? Yeah, for sure. But I feel like with where D-Hop is at in his career and the type of player he is, he should definitely probably end up going to the Chiefs, because being that your number 1 receiver is your tight end, that's not the best look, because as a defense, if you key in on the tight end and you shut that down, it's like, okay, we got to force these receivers to actually make something shake. And excuse me, if we got D-Hop out on the outside and we got Kelsey out on the other side, it's like, okay, we can't focus on doubling one of them, because we double one of them, somebody's going to be open. And then we got Pacheco coming out the backfield. And then Pat can also run when he needs to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would definitely open up the Chiefs' offense even more, and it's going somewhere to where it's already successful. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the Chiefs would probably be the best spot for him to go to. Bills, cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, just looking at what y'all are saying, both the teams, you can't really lose with either one. If you're a receiver, you probably want to go to a quarterback who's definitely going to get to the ball, which is the Chiefs. But I think he can coexist with the Buffalo Bills, just not for a long time. And my recent examples of that is like, and this is my opinion, like, I definitely think there's been some other examples. We've seen 2 number 1 receivers. At least at that point, they were together, playing together. When Stephon Diggs was with Minnesota, he left because Thielen was number 1 as well. They both were number 1s. They played really well together. Both over 1,000 yards, really good. Even right now, currently Seahawks, you got what's the old school? DK and Lockett. You know what I'm saying? They both number 1s. Like they both play well together. Even last year when Odell, or 2 years ago when Odell was with the Rams, like Cooper Kupp, even before when he had Robert Woods, they both were number 1 caliber very well. You know what I'm saying?
T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
T. Higgins, that's a perfect example. They number 1s now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I'm not trying to cut you off, but with a lot of those receivers you named, those are 2. They have like different dynamics as well. That's why I feel like they work together well. You know what I'm saying? Like one might be bigger, one might be smaller, one might be more shifty and whatnot.
Like Higgins and Jamar Chase, to me, those are like they're the same. You know what I'm saying? They both can run all 9 routes. Like they, that's probably the best example. You know what I'm saying? You don't have like a little scatty Eddie slot. Like they both just go, you know what I'm saying? The whole route tree. So I mean, and they coexist, you know what I'm saying? So I think that like I would sit them down, but look, and of course you gotta go to Diggs because he's been in house already. You think about bringing D-Hop, you cool with it? You know what I'm saying? Like otherwise you can say run with Gabriel and whoever else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you cool with D-Hop coming here? Like, cause we trying to get a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like the windows are always short in the NFL. Anything can happen, injuries, anything. You want to get him? Cool. All right, cool. He might be there for 1 season. He might sign a 1 year.
Yeah, that seems like the wave right now.
Yeah, 1 year, $50 million deal. Try to get this ring right quick, and then come on, Vamanos, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, Diggs has made it no secret. Like he's trying to go to Dallas with his brother at some point. So whether it's next year or when his contract is done, he's trying to let the sun set in Dallas. Because Diggs ain't going nowhere. So I mean, that's kind of where we at with it. D-Hop may go and end up replacing Stephon Diggs, which could be a good little selling point. Like, hey, D-Hop coming in here, we know you don't want to be here much longer anyway. Like, he coming here, you try to get 1 or 2 rings, and then you can go in with your brother. Like, when your contract is done. Like, that sound good to you? Like, you're going to say no. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, like, you got to be grown men. Like, whatever. But I mean, I do think that it's weird to me, like, certain players, like, when you think about their caliber of who they are, why they're still waiting. Like, if I knew D-Hop was on the trade market 2 months ago when this first came out, his ass would have been gone on my team. If I had the room to get him, D-Hop, hey, welcome to wherever I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird to me. So, the NFL's just different because the NBA, he been gone.
Yeah.
Long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Probably took him about 3 days.
3 days. I'm Adrian Wojnarowski, and guess what? You know what I'm saying? Traded. So, I mean, I don't know. NFL different for sure. What was the next day? Oh yeah, so and also in NFL news, this is a really great story. Damar Hamlin. If you're unfamiliar with Damar Hamlin, he's a free safety. He went to the University of Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett, who's the starting quarterback for the Steelers. He was a highly touted after high school recruit, one of the top safeties in the country. He had all the big schools coming after him. He decided to stay home and go to the University of Pittsburgh because that's where he's from. End up getting drafted by the Buffalo Bills. I think he was cut from other teams first, right? Maybe? No? Maybe he got drafted.
He was drafted by
Buffalo. And ended up getting, freak accident. He went to go tackle T. Higgins, in fact, in a end of the regular season game this past season. And T. Higgins' shoulder and helmet combined and hit him directly in the part of his chest where his heart resides. And it sent him into cardiac arrest. He actually died on that field 2 times. They had to bring him back twice. And again at the hospital. He was in the hospital for some weeks. You heard the story all over the world news. He made a recovery. He was able to get out the hospital. And he made different appearances and so forth. All that to say, today, earlier this afternoon, we all got a Bleacher Report. Word that Damar Hamlin was actually cleared by doctors to resume football activity. And so, what's your thoughts on it, man? I know you had an interesting take earlier, Trey. What's your thoughts on it, brother?
I feel like it's not going to work out the way that people think it is. Reason being is because he died, like you say, he died twice on that field. And then he died once at the hospital. Like, cardiac arrest, this isn't a twisted ankle. This isn't somebody tearing their knee up, like nothing like that. Like, he literally died out there on the field. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but think about this. Like, you know how many players then tore their knees up? Like, they was just talking about Saquon Barkley. Like, would he ever be the same? Do you think teams are going to want him, like, just from dealing with knee injuries? Like, people don't be getting scholarships. People don't be getting signed to NFL teams off the strength of, they have a bad history with injuries. So if a coach won't even look your way when you tore your knee up a couple years ago, he's like, I don't know, that could be a liability. how do y'all think that certain teams, granted the Buffalo Bills might honor him, bring him back and whatnot, and be like, yeah, you're our guy, come play for us and all that type of stuff. Yeah, that's cool. But in the future, if he tries to go to another team or something like that, that's going to be a big red flag because nobody's going to want to be liable for putting Damar Hamlin back on the field and him actually getting hit again, even though he got cleared, because everybody gets cleared from injuries, but they still don't get picked up to go play. So I know, like, my mindset would be like, yo, if I'm a GM, if I'm a coach, it's like, yeah, he was a good player, but I'm not putting me or this organization at risk by putting him on the field when we could go get DBs much better. Not saying he's not good, but he's a second to third string safety right now behind Hyde, and I think Poyer is the other one and whatnot. So it wasn't as if, like, okay, this is a top-tier franchise safety that we got right now that when he comes back it's going to wake up the whole city, like, to go and like do numbers and whatnot. I feel like the NFL and the Bills might use it as a selling point, so where it's like, hey, we got Damar Hamlin back on the field, fill up some seats in the stadium and whatnot, and actually, like, catapult into the season. But if I'm Damar Hamlin, bro, like, I'm figuring out some different ways to get my bread and just kind of hanging it up because I'm not risking going out there and getting hurt again. You know what I'm saying? Some people, it might be a hot take, but me, like I said, I'm a logical thinker, and I just feel like it may not be the best look for him to get back out there. Granted, he might go out there and be able to run around, do everything like he was normally doing, but like we had said before, it's a freak accident. All it takes is somebody to hit you in the right spot, the right way at the right time, and it can all happen again. So that's kind of like my take on it. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he got cleared and everything's like good to go with him and stuff like that. But playing at the NFL level, getting back there out on the field, I just feel like that probably wouldn't be a good look for him right now because ain't nothing worth like losing your life over just because you want to come back and prove a point.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like the NFL is taking a risk by allowing him to even clear him because the names that the doctors that cleared him, if God forbid anything happened, like the NFL is going to get in be in big trouble at that point. Because I'm like, hey, you could have prevented this young man. He could have, be safe, no illness or anything. But you decide to go ahead and proceed. Now, mind you, he wasn't starting, like you said. He wasn't starting, so it's like, yeah, he gonna get back in, but it's gonna be like a more so like a clout thing. Like I feel like it's gonna be like, hey, shout out to Damar Hamlin, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all come to the game, support him. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put him in the game, whoop, 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 and they're gonna put the stars back in. Or it's gonna be something like that. But that's gonna keep the camaraderie and how the Bills operate as a community, like that's something that would be like inspirational to see. But yeah, I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't want to continue to keep playing because I'd rather be here. I'd rather be able to see my family, and not, like you said, risk it to prove a point. I feel like men in general have a ego out this world. The pride is crazy to where a lot of people just got to prove points to people, and it's not even worth it.
Yeah, definitely interesting takes by both of y'all. I'm not going to say I disagree because I think if I was him, I probably wouldn't play. But I do think there's something to be said about just, I wouldn't say pride. I do agree with the pride part. I don't know what the word I'm trying to use is. Like, just, I use like Tua, for example. He had those 2 concussions this year. Everybody was like, Tua should probably hang it up. Tua out there getting ready to play again. You know what I'm saying? Like, came back and played. I mean, had a great season this year. I think, like, when you're so passionate about something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, God forbid somebody say microphones don't work anymore. Like, I'm going to find a way to podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, got to get it done. When you're passionate about something, like you're gonna want to try to see it into the very end. And I think for him, if I'm trying to like guess what his mindset is, like I think he's trying to at least say for his story, like I did come back from this freak injury. You know what I'm saying? He may go out there and end up just being a special teams player. I will say he actually was starting when he got hurt. Micah Hyde tore his knee up week 1. And so he actually was starting at the free safety. He actually was second in tackles on the team before he got hurt. He ended up 4th on the team in tackles, after he got hurt. So, very formidable player. And like I said, he has a pedigree behind him of being a very good free safety. He just was behind 2 All-Pros on that team. Mm-hmm. So, Poyer almost was gone this year. They would have easily moved Micah Hyde over there and put him at free, or whatever. So I think he'll definitely play. They might do a 3-box set where they have 3 safeties. You never know. He'd be a roamer. He may play nickel, whatever.
Yeah.
I think he'll definitely play. And I think for him and the way the Bills currently are constructed, how we were saying earlier with D-Hop, I don't think that they would even entertain bringing him back or allowing him to be a part of the organization in that capacity if they didn't feel like he was able to do it. I do think a lot of times when you involve professionals such as doctors, you eliminate the liability being on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're there for. So I don't think that if he does get hurt again in any way, shape, form, fashion, that it falls on any team that gives him the opportunity. Like, you're giving him an opportunity because he's been cleared. Just like earlier when, what's his name? Allen Robinson got traded to the Steelers. Tomorrow he reports there for a physical. The physical comes back clear. The doctors clear you, like, cool, welcome to the team. Let's get this money. But, you know what I'm saying? If he get hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like, you passed your physical, everything was cool. We brought your team because you were healthy. It says right here you were healthy when we brought you here. You know what I'm saying? So when him, same kind of thing. I mean, I don't know if I would have been able just to be like, you know, it's hard to walk away from something. I mean, I tell you this all the time. Every week, like, growing up, I begged and cried and begged and cried. My mama let me play football. Like, to this day, at 37 years young, like, I'm still, like, resentful because she never let me just go out there and play. Like, let me go out there and see what it felt like to strap it on with the fellas and go out there and hit somebody or get the touchdown, whatever. Like, I never got to experience that ever. You know what I'm saying? And so I resent my mom for a little bit for that, for not letting me experience that. Both my brothers played. She simply said I couldn't play because she thought I was too skinny. Like, it's crazy now you think about how fast I was and so forth. Like, both my brothers, and one almost went pro. Like, they got to feel that excitement and what that felt like. I can never say that same thing. So, like, I do understand, like, when you're passionate about something like that, you want to try to see it out. I do understand that part. You know what I'm saying? CTE is a very, what's the word? It's a very, known thing in our society. And, you know, they've changed the whole NFL game because of it. You know what I'm saying? You can only hit in a certain window. Can't do headshots no more. Can't, you know, whatever. They're trying to make the game, you know, more friendly, but it's still a violent game. But players still go out there and play, and CTE is a very known thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you're passionate about something like that, you're going to go out there and see it. We hyped about the draft, and players getting CTE. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talked to Desi, and she said, I stopped watching football because of CTE. You know what I'm saying? And she used to be a huge fan of the Cardinals. So it's just, you know what I'm saying? I think when you're passionate about something like that, you definitely want to see it out. For sure. Good conversation. We'll talk. That was good shit. Let me see. We at now. Anything else about football before we jump in there? I'm saying y'all agree with the. You think Bryce Young going first with the thing that came out today or yesterday?
I actually watched the pivot today.
Oh, really?
Off period.
Who they have on there?
Bryce Young.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It's nice. I got like 20 minutes left on it, but I think Bryce Young is gonna go one. I think they know, you know, height is not a factor. I think now when that happens, I feel like the draft is gonna shake up. Like you said, we may get a surprise where Houston trades that pick and Baltimore has the second pick, and I don't think they would take C.J. Stroud.
You know they don't take Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. So you ain't got to really switch up too much of your scheme.
You probably can let him play now.
Yep. And with that being said, now that changes the whole draft board where those non-quarterback players, you know, top players, are now they are getting pushed back, you know, within the rounds. Like, so for instance, if you see that happen where there's a trade at the second pick, well, you're not going to see like really a non-quarterback player to pick 5. But it ain't who you think it is. It may be Tyree Wilson that may come out at pick 5 because it may be 4 quarterbacks that go in the first 4. Because there may be another trade with Arizona. Because if Arizona say, "Oh, they jumped," I mean, are we seeing Houston jump? Let's jump. Because we know some people want to come down there like Washington, who want a quarterback. Tennessee, who secretly wants a quarterback. They haven't just said like, "Hey, like we're ready for one," but they want one. And I feel like a lot of people are not showing their hand because of how the draft may fall. Like we talked about it last week, the draft is probably like GMs probably have so many different scenarios of how things may play out just in case. And I know the reason that Houston may say they didn't want a quarterback because you want Bryce Young to fall right there. You want that to happen, but we all know that's probably not going to happen. And history repeats itself. Justin Fields is breaking that curse, that Ohio State NFL curse, but C.J. Stroud, I think he'll be good. Like you said, it's about the setup. It's about where you go. I feel like even when Ohio State quarterbacks come out, they come out so high that the team they go to needs somebody right now, and those quarterbacks weren't like the fit for that team. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like it's all about where he go. He go to Houston, and he gonna be thrown on his back.
Yeah, I say this. We can go first, Trey. Go ahead.
Oh no, I would agree with the same thing. I mean, you know, I was always trying to give a hot take by saying Anthony Richardson going first, but logically, I know they're probably going to end up going for Bryce Young because he's statistically the best quarterback in the draft and whatnot. So I could definitely see him going off the board. Or I expect him to be off the board first. And I'd be surprised if it was anybody else, honestly.
Yeah, so I just had this I guess epiphany while we're here and having the conversation. It's weird to me how teams, like I know you gave Cowboys credit. You said Cowboys always have like traditionally good drafts overall. One thing I was always, I ain't gonna lie, as a fan, I was, you want the sexy pick. I was like hot for them 2-3 years. I kept drafting these linemen. I was pissed off, but Hall of Famers on the whole lineman. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what happens with a lot of these quarterbacks. Like when you're Chicago, first of all, you missed out on Pat Mahomes. You missed out on Lamar Jackson. You missed out on a lot of good quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson. Like you finally got Justin Fields, who's showing that he could probably be that guy for you. What makes me disappointed though is if you have a young, raw quarterback who has to learn how to slow the NFL game down and all these different things, what's going to make that quarterback most successful? It's not a receiver. It's not a running back. It's an offensive line. Why they don't go flood with great offensive linemen and make him have protection to read the field, to throw the ball to the receivers? You can make Pat Mahomes make everybody look good. You know what I'm saying? But he's also he's probably the bad example because he don't need no line. He can just say hut to himself and still do his thing. But like Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying? Tom Brady made everybody in New England look good for years, but he had an amazing line. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a man time to read and progress and throw the ball, it can happen. And so when it comes to like I think definitely Bryce not gonna be number one pick. I think the best team for CJ Stroud, you know what I'm saying, of all the teams in that top 10 is the Colts. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best team for him to go to. You know what I'm saying? Second would probably be the Raiders, sit behind Jimmy G for a couple years. But Anthony Richardson, perfect. If they can go to Houston has number 2 pick. If they pick Anthony Richardson, that's horrible for them, for him, everybody involved. But if they trade and he go to Baltimore, that's like match made in heaven. I mean, he can come in at day one, training camp, beat the guy. Then got to change much of the any of the playbook. You know what I'm saying? He probably has a better arm, probably agreed than Lamar Jackson. Like that's a perfect place for him. You know what I'm saying? It all kind of depends on what Panthers do. So
yeah. The Texans, I can see them trading back either it's the second or the 12th, but people are calling. People are calling for the second and the third.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm eager to see how this is going to pan out. Because I also like just to clear the record, I do believe that if the 4 quarterbacks don't go in a row, like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not going past the 15th pick. And only person that could possibly happen is if we see Will Levis fall in with the Bucks. But I know Washington needs a quarterback because Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett, even though Jacoby Brissett is a solid backup, they don't have a number 1. So they calling. I feel like the suitors for Washington to get that trade could be Houston, could be Arizona, or it could be Atlanta.
I saw something earlier today. Said if they said expect to see 1 quarterback go 1 overall, and they said don't expect to see another quarterback until pick 4 if no trades are made. So. That would be Colts, right? So
Coach C.J. Stroud. That's like you said, best fit. I feel like a lot of Ohio State quarterbacks, when you think about it, just went terrible places at the time. So yeah,
that's dope. Jumping into basketball, NBA playoffs have began or begun. Which one is it?
Begun.
Okay, they begun. They begun. NBA playoffs begun, and one of the matchups is the Warriors and the Kings. Crazy because, what I'm saying, I'm a little older than y'all, but I'm sure I remember too. If I think it was 2002 was the last year. The Kings were, they had Jason Williams, Mike Bibby, them 2 point guards. Then they had Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, Peja Stojakovic. They were really, really good. The infamous play where the ball hits the rim, Chris Webber hits the ball out, thinking that one of his guards is out the top of the key, and it goes right to Robert Horry. At the buzzer, 4th quarter, he shoots the ball, and Lakers win. And Kings probably would have won a championship that year.
Mm-hmm.
They lost, got eliminated in the next game, and the rest is history. But since those years, though, Kings have been literally lottery pick every year. You know what I'm saying? Trash. Even when they had DeMarcus Cousins, like, they weren't good. They got Mike Brown, who's a product of the Spurs behind Coach Popovich. Went to the Warriors, won some championships there under Steve Kerr, who's also a product of Popovich. Mm-hmm. And now he has the top scoring team in the league in the Kings, and top 5 defensively in the Kings in the playoffs. Mike Brown has changed that whole culture, and they end up being a 3 seed, not skimming into the playoffs at 8. 3 seed, Warriors are 6th. Warriors have also been a very horrible road team this whole season. Horrible on the road. And so, yeah, I mean, they're down 2-0 now. But they'll probably bring up about this particular game, if you didn't see the game last night, a player by the name of Draymond Green. He is a power forward, do-it-all player for the Warriors. He's also self-proclaimed as the greatest defender to ever play in the NBA. That's a different argument for a different day. But anyway, yeah, so in the game, I want to say it was fourth quarter, maybe fourth quarter, in the third quarter, somewhere around there, second half, I know that. A ball was shot. Domantas Sabonis, who's a center for the All-Star center for the Kings, and Draymond Green were battling for the ball. Lost position. Sabonis fell back on the ground. Draymond Green kind of jumped back, and Sabonis covering his face. And covering his face, he came up to cover his face. His arm hooked Draymond Green's foot. Draymond Green, I guess, assumed that maybe he was trying to hold his foot. He jumps out of that, and what it looks like, at least to me, steps purposely with force on Sabonis' chest, and then kind of leapfrogs off and runs down the court. They did blow a whistle. He got an immediately technical foul. Ended up reviewing it. He got ejected for flagrant 2. They said today he'll probably just get fined. Won't be suspended for Game 3. First, I want to ask y'all, y'all seen it numerous times, or you're seeing it here by watching. What is y'all's thoughts on particularly that first? Do you think that was on purpose? What's your thoughts?
I think, before I get into that, was it LeBron that he had kicked in the nuts?
I want to say he hit him in the nuts when they played in the final couple of years.
Because that was during that one. Whenever that happened, I think he got a flagrant 2 as well, and they suspended him for a game.
Yeah, a game. That's what everybody said. That's why the Warriors lost.
So I'm thinking, when I didn't watch the game live, but I got informed about it, and I was on Twitter seeing all the highlights and whatnot. So when I see it, if y'all can help me out real quick, who's the guy that everybody says is annoying that plays for the Grizzlies?
Oh, Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. So there's a video of Dylan Brooks getting his leg held. Same situation as Draymond, but then Dylan Brooks just kind of lays, he falls on the ground.
Yeah.
So he falls on the ground and whatnot, and then they end up calling a foul for him holding his leg and whatnot. So for me in this situation, especially knowing the type of game you're playing in, you're already down 0-1. You're down one game. Y'all are down only 4 points right now, or they might have been up 4. Either way, it was a 4-point game. In that type of situation, bro, don't put yourself nor your team in any type of situation that's going to give y'all a chance to lose. So when I seen what he actually did, he scooped up his leg. It looked like it could have been purposeful, could have not been. But to be able, you see in that video that everybody was just looking at, him stomping on his rib like that looks purposeful to me. Because he definitely, even if he is, at the beginning of that jump, when he jumps up in the air, he didn't have to bring his foot all the way down on him. He could have, jumped up and, kind of flopped and sold it a little bit, but in the full video, he jumps up like that, presses down on his rib, and then jumps off of it again, goes into the air, and tries to go down the court. So I'm like, bro, you tried to sell it and play it off, but you just made yourself look worse.
It's like a bully tactic, man. I just feel like with Draymond, man, he might cost him, but I feel like when you got Steph and Clay in the backcourt, it's gonna wash Draymond out. Now they 2-0 right now, the Kings, and one more. I feel like still you giving Steph a lot of opportunity to get 3-1, to turn into 3-2, to 3-3. Then it's Game 7. I believe in Steph. Steph the chef. But with Draymond, man, I think he wants to be out of the Bay. He didn't already spurred.
Laker talk.
Jordan Poole. Yeah, I can see him going to the Lakers. To try something different. But yeah, I don't see the Warriors winning it this year. But I'm saying the way he's acting, the behaviors, man, it's now becoming a cancer, and he's getting older now. So it's we can go, younger now, and we don't have to worry about that. And we could just play basketball.
I think he tries to embrace that
1990 bully
that
ball.
Bad boy,
yeah.
The bad boy Pistons. He tries to embrace some type of attitude like that because he's like, oh yeah,
I'm from Michigan.
I may not be scoring no points, or I may not be doing that, but I'm gonna lock you down on defense, and I'm gonna dish the ball to my guards, and they're gonna score, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a bully tactic. But after a while, like you said, kind of being a cancer to his team. Sometimes it seems as if he's like, oh man, I don't got no attention on me. Let me try to get some attention on me. You know what I'm saying? Even after they ejected him, he's going to the crowd yelling all hyped and whatnot. It's like, bro, this isn't you're not cooking the way you think you're cooking right now.
Yeah, and then he's he's trying to. He way older than a lot of these people that's guarding him where he's guarding. And he try to get in their head. And it works for a lot of people like Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I think that as quiet as it's kept, I think that the Warriors, particularly Steve Kerr, has been tired of Draymond. think about everybody else on that team, they're really kind of like mellow, just kind of do their thing. They don't really have any swag. They're just like, they're just really good basketball players. You know what I'm saying? Like, Draymond is kind of like the voice, the personality of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that the Warriors necessarily appreciate all of his ways. Even Klay Thompson said in his interview after the game, he goes, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it was right what Draymond Green did, but he was holding his foot. Now, he hadn't seen the angle where dude was just covering his face. But Klay Thompson said last night, he's like, man, it wasn't right for him to step on his chest, but the dude was holding his foot. You know what I'm saying? So even your own teammate has said right now after this game, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of messed up, Dre. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that they're probably tired of him. But also think about even before the season started, when teams were in training camp, Draymond Green was talking back and forth on the court with one of his teammates, up-and-coming Jordan Poole, who got a stupid bag this summer. Fellas being competitive every day about everything. You know what I'm saying? Shooting paper in the trash, everything. Draymond Green walks across the court and walks up on his teammate. Now, every man, if I walk up on any of y'all, I'm sure they're going to push me like, man, move. Even just playing like, man, move. Like, that's what men do. Jordan Poole pushing him like, man, get out my face. Draymond come and just steal that dude and knocked him on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, I'm going to be totally honest, though. This reminds me of the Chris Rock thing. I'm different. I'm not saying I would have whooped Draymond, but we would have definitely had an immediate disagreement. Like, you're not finna just hit me for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be more to you done besides just that suspension that Steve Kerr gave you. You're going to feel something. You're going to need a Band-Aid or something when I get done, period, point blank. But he stayed on that team. Like, that part was always, like, cringy to me because you're showing basically Jordan Poole, like, I don't care about anything. Like, we want him to stay on this team. He's a defender. We need him. I don't care about that. Like, the culture of how we feel in this locker room don't really matter. We trying to win. That speaks certain type of volumes around that organization. Like, forget you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they haven't won with him before. He had 4 rings. He has 4 rings. So, like, let him go. You know what I'm saying? He'd been traded to me. But they kept him. And so, like, that, elephant has been in the room all season. Even when I hear, like, I've heard in press conferences Jordan Poole making jokes about, like, I want to get slapped. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like, it's an elephant that's always going to be in the room. You know what I'm saying? Even Draymond Green said it earlier, too. He said, we don't have to be cool. We just got to play together. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way it should be, especially in basketball. It's not 53 guys. It's only 15. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be a tight-knit group. You know what I'm saying? Trying to accomplish one goal. With Draymond Green, man, his I don't know if it's his temperament, if it's his anger, if it's his background, his culture, whatever it is. But, like, something is definitely off for these things that keep on happening. I saw it earlier. He hit LeBron in the groin in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Punched him in his groin. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's his baby makers. You know what I'm saying? Hit him in the groin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you step on a dude's rib cage. You punch a teammate. Like, these are all very aggressive, acts of anger that, he gonna either get his ass really whooped one day, you know what I'm saying? Forget the kids in the stands, or he gonna hurt somebody really, really bad where there's no way for them to recover. And then what happens? So, and what if he would have hit that boy Jordan Poole and, like, gave him brain damage? You saw the hit. He hit him stupid hard. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. He something got to change with this guy for sure.
He's coming like the modern day Ron Artest.
Yeah, but like worse.
Mm-hmm. But imagine
Ron was mild sauce.
He wouldn't do it to Ron though.
Yeah, but Ron,
Steven Jackson.
But Ron Artest is mild sauce compared to him. Like, he's just different. Like, he just, you know what I'm saying? Like, just totally different.
Imagine Draymond doing it to somebody like Ben Wallace. Is it happening?
And also, when I think about him doing that to LeBron, yeah, LeBron has, like, a big, like, statue as, like, a basketball player, but LeBron ain't finna do nothing on that court to jeopardize what he got going on. So, like, he picks his battles very smartly, I feel like.
I do
also, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I feel like the reason why they tolerate him, because that's really what it is. It's like everybody tolerates Draymond, and they realize this type of basketball player he is, because at the end of the day, he's a great basketball player. Might not be the best shooter or nothing of that nature, but as far as basketball basketball for the Golden State Warriors, like, he fits the mold. He's the one that helped build Golden State to where they're at today. Him, Clay, and Steph all came up together, you know what I'm saying? They've had a few people come in and out, but as a team, it's like, okay, yeah, he has his things that he has going on with him, but we'd much rather keep him here as a vet for these young guys and somebody who knows this organization and this program to be able to build with him versus being like, all right, yeah, we're done with you. And then trying to find somebody else to try to play catch up to get back up to speed. Then also just growing up playing sports all the time, like, I can count on 2 sets of hands how many fights I've been in with my teammates and stuff. Granted, like, some of them might have been in the locker room, some of them might have been out on the field, whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, like, we teammates, just like brothers and sisters and stuff. Like, they're going to bicker. They're going to have they moments where they want to be fighting each other and all that type of stuff, and then you end up just blowing it off, you know what I'm saying? Because that ends up building camaraderie for sure. But also, when I think about the Draymond and Jordan Poole situation, the only part of the video you see is when Draymond's sitting there chirping with Jordan, and Jordan's kind of like just looking off at him, like not paying him no attention, and then gets into it, punches him, all the type of stuff. The video stops. So it's only a couple seconds that you were seeing. But you never know what could have happened. They could have been running the scrimmage whole time, going up and down the court. You see how charismatic Jordan Poole can be, so you never know what type of junk he was talking to Draymond. And Draymond's one of those types of dudes that might be like, okay, I'm not taking no disrespect, and I'm a vet. I'm going to make an example of you real quick. On top of having some other stuff going on with him, probably like outside of basketball frustrations. You know how it can be, like people bringing outside problems to work, which all these things he's doing with the Jordan Poole situation stuff too it was never warranted, should have never happened. But I always think about, what could have been a leading factor to these things, and then what put the Warriors in the situation to be able to move on with him and kind of just like press on as if nothing happened. Because if you look at him and Jordan Poole, it's not like they got any static. It seems like they be on the court, they all be hooping. You know what I'm saying? So it's something they ended up brushing past. But with them kind of when them acting like that and like brushing past things, it unconsciously enables a person to continue the behaviors that they're doing. So eventually he's going to run into the wrong person someday. Or I don't feel like Draymond got that much longer in the NBA anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whenever he leaves Golden State, somebody's going to want to pick him up because they're going to be like, all right, yeah, bro, like, this is Draymond. We know he can help the team out. But what he's not going to like about it is somebody's going to try to put him in that veteran role, that Udonis Haslam type of role. To where it's like, yeah, we want you on the squad. Yeah, you can get in every now and then, but we want you just helping people out. But he's not going to be going for that. Yeah. He's going to be wanting the bread and the playing time. Like, he's still a young Draymond Green, but you're not. Mm-hmm. You're going to be like, oh, well, LeBron doing this, but you're not LeBron. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're not Kobe. Like, you're not these players who could actually play into older age, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I thought they should have suspended him. I was hoping they did. I was like, man, I hope they get him up out of there. But anyways, besides that, something I was going to bring up about the series. Yeah, they down 2-0. I'm not convinced that they're going to get swept. I know they're probably going to win a couple of games. If the Warriors were to win the series, I say they win it. I say Warriors in 6. They would have to come back and, well, I'll say, just to be safe, I'll say Warriors in 7. But what I would like to see, since the Kings haven't been doing nothing these past few years, if they were to come out and sweep the Warriors, that would be crazy. They would be looked at as a team like, oh, they might go do it all. Like, they might go all the way. But then they mess around and get beat the next series. Man, and that would be so anticlimactic.
If that happened, De'Aaron Fox, his name going to be written down in history. Mm-hmm. Him and Malik Monk, be like, man.
College teammates, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about my students earlier, man, like, as much as I love that the Kings are playing this the way they're playing, like, them two light-skinned brothers over there on the other side, they get hot whenever they decide to get hot. And until they could be down 3-0, you know what I'm saying? Until you get them out of there, I was talking about I was telling somebody the other day, I don't know who it was, but I said Steph Curry is the only player in my life that whenever I'm going against him, 'cause I'm going for the Kings, I want to see something different, right? Like, whenever he has the ball, you almost, as soon as the ball is shot in the air, you gasp and hold your breath, because when he walk in the gym from the parking lot, he's open. Like, yeah, he does. Like, even before the game started, he's shooting from the tunnel and like it's nothing, making the shots like he has an uncanny way to put the ball.
It's an art.
I mean, it's crazy. So I mean, like it's when he missed the shot, it's like, man, boy, like just woo. You know what I'm saying? One little half an inch to the left or right, I'm gonna cash her again. It's scary.
It's like when he shoots the ball, this is just something I'm throwing. It's like when he shoots the ball, it's like, okay, you expect it to go in. You're more shocked whenever it don't go in. You be like, oh dang, like he missed it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's when it goes in, or when it don't go in, you're shocked. It's like, man, oh, for real? Like, oh, he didn't make it? Like, it's just different. Like if the so looking right here, let's see. And I knew it was gonna happen. So whoever comes out that round plays Lakers next. Mm-hmm. I mean, my bad. I shouldn't say Lakers. I think they already won.
Might as well say Lakers.
I think Lakers will win the series, but they play the winner of Memphis and Lakers next. Now, Memphis and Golden State also have beef. John Morant said he wanted to play LeBron first to make a point. I don't know what that point is. He might not even play tonight. They say he hurt his hand.
They say what he did to it? I saw how he landed.
He had a bandage on it already. I think he had a cut, but he bent 3 fingers backwards. Mm-hmm. After the game, they asked him, do you think there's doubt you'll play game 2? And he goes, yeah, there is doubt. They did x-rays. He had no ligament damage, no joint damage. Like, it was just like really, really sore. They said he couldn't really like even squeeze anything. Mm-hmm. So They said it's gonna be a game time decision, and it's on a shooting hand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But I mean, either way, whoever wins that series plays the winner of that series, Memphis and Lakers. If it's Golden State playing, if it's Sacramento playing either one of these teams, I think that's when they lose. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think Sacramento's gonna beat Memphis or LA. So, and I told you, I said, if the Lakers get to the playoffs, they're probably the most dangerous team in the West. In fact, LeBron said it. He came back early from his foot injury. He said, I came back because I smell weakness in the West right now. Yeah, so, yeah, this is my little quick take. Other quick, you know what I'm saying, takes with the rest of the bracket. Huh?
The GOAT.
Yeah, for sure. Other quick takes with the rest of the bracket. Clippers beat Phoenix that first round. That was actually the first game that the big three and Phoenix lost together. They were 8-0 before that. Russ didn't even have a great scoring game, but he had 3 blocks. I think he had 13 assists and 9 points. But he played his ass off. Played really, really well. Kawhi was being Kawhi, and they won the game. Yeah, man, I really hope that they beat Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota and Denver, this is probably going to be a sweep. Like, Denver is that's a well-oiled machine. Jokic is, in my opinion, the best center in the game, and he's just killing. And they're just young and too green. Boston, probably same thing. They probably sweep Atlanta. Philly is another team I'm rooting for because I would love to see James Harden get a ring. I think he's done so much for the game. I think he's revolutionized the game. I'd love to see him get a ring. They up 2-0 against Brooklyn. They were down most of that game, too. This series I don't care nothing about. Cleveland and New York.
I'm going for Cleveland.
You know what I'm saying? But they down 1-0 right now. Same thing with this series. I don't care nothing about this series. But they seem to play each other every year in the playoffs. It seems like Miami and Milwaukee. Miami's actually up. And Giannis is hurt, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he left the game last game. He went up for a rebound and got undercut and fell on his hip. Like, really, really hard. Boom, on the floor. I think he left the game, came back. He was limping real hard. So they say in the playoffs, like, you can have the best team. They number one seed, but one injury can change your whole everything. So, but yeah.
I want it to be like I feel like it'll be the biggest Western Conference Finals ever if you get the Lakers versus the Clippers. I feel like
Let me see if that's even possible. Let me see.
It is
possible.
possible.
Let me see. Let's see. Western Conference Finals? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that'll be hard. It'd be like, all right, Russ going against his old team.
Nobody traveling?
Nobody traveling.
That's dope.
It's gonna be lit every other day.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, no cap.
Yeah.
that'd be crazy. For the finals?
They just, hey, crew, change the floor.
Yeah.
Blue and red.
Yeah.
Yellow and
Aren't
purple.
the Clippers supposed to be getting their own stadium?
Yeah, in 2 years, I think.
That's why it'd be live that, they doing it right now, you know? And then for the East, I want to see 76ers come out of there because I want to see Embiid, like you said, beating Harden get they flowers, and then I want to see the Bucks again.
Whoever wins out of the Miami and the Bucks is probably going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
Yeah,
they'll
because
play
they
probably
play
the
easy ass
76ers.
Cleveland and them.
Knicks, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think the Bucks, just their championship. I don't know how long Giannis
Miami
is
playing
out
that shit. Let's be 8, y'all. Let's be 8. Easy road. Just play Milwaukee, beat them. Look who we play next.
That's how they sound.
Yeah, probably. The coach. But nah, that's dope. Yeah, it's dope. And one thing I would say about this, like, I always say Clippers is my second team. One, because Kawhi's my favorite player. And two, because I love Russ. For sure. When I remember I was like, man, please Clippers get Russ. I was hoping and begging to go get him. And they did. And they get Paul George after this round if they make it after this round. So that's gonna be they get their second leading scorer back. Paul George is a monster.
Okay, if it's Clippers and Lakers, who you think winning that?
Everybody
series?
healthy?
Everybody healthy.
Clippers.
Hands down.
Yeah, because I think, again, like, I always say this too. The reason why I say that is because I think, first of all, I think Lakers were dumb to let Russell Westbrook go. He was going to win the 6th Man of the Year award off the bench. He was cool with that role. He wasn't doing anything bad. He was leading that second unit. To me, the reason why Lakers have helped so many issues is because they can't play their unit the way they need to because Anthony Davis is always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Even in game 1, like, he went for a rebound, came down, and dude hit his arm. He was like, I can't move my arm.
Mm-hmm.
They had a trainer holding his arm, walking him to the locker room, and everybody was like, man, this is crazy. Same thing all over again. And they said he had a stinger. He came back second half. If they lose AD, it's over for them. And he won away from being out. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So, I mean, like, you blowing him too hard, man, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just, with all that being said, like, he's just super soft. And I hate to say that about him as a man, but he seemed like super soft on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like I don't know. He don't have like no what the word is. They say everybody plays through injury. Like, he don't. You know what I'm saying? Hang now. Ain't AD out 3 weeks. Hang now. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, I don't know. Just out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thought. Anything else y'all want to cap on?
Man, we forgot about something. Well, we didn't forget about it, but this is something that's really important. BioLite. I drank some chlorophyll with the water with the chlorophyll. I drank that today, but I need to get some of this BioLite. IV in the bottle. This is the fruit punch favorite. This is 550% electrolytes. And please, 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 please drink it.
Cold.
You dig what I'm saying? It covers dehydration, upset stomach, overindulgence, cramps, and fatigue. You dig what I'm saying? So go ahead and check your BioLite. We are in Target now. So shout out to them.
Dope. Last episode we forgot to do this. I don't know how we all forgot to do this, but we didn't do our closing prayer, so I'm gonna do that now, and then we'll go ahead and I want to say dismiss, but we'll go ahead and get out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, we come right now for prayer. We ask that you please first and foremost forgive us for all of our sins, ones known and unknown, past, present, and the future. Father God, we just truly thank you so much for the blessings you've given us in life. Thank you for keeping us sane. Thank you for keeping us through all the dangers known and unknown, seen and unseen in this earth that we didn't know about, Father God. Right now, as we get ready to depart from one another in this room, I ask you please allow everybody traveling grace to their destination. The weather's getting bad, but just bless Trey as he travels back out of the city to his home. Bless him in the friendly skies, Father God. Allow him to continue to receive the guidance given to him from his instructors. Continue to hone in on just being mindful, checking off his checklist, everything he needs to do to make sure that he's the best pilot out there, Father God. Bless Devin, Father God, as he gets ready to do state testing tomorrow. Allow his mind to be clear, ready to motivate, educate, and instruct these young adolescent children that he teaches, Father God, on a daily basis. Allow him to be able to receive all the blessings that you have ordained for him and for myself as well, Father God. Thank you so much for all the things you've done for me personally. Thank you for allowing me to create just more balance for myself, better communication, and just overall hold myself accountable for my wrongdoings because I'm not perfect. Last but not least, continue to keep our friends, family, loved ones, children, even our enemies, near and far away, and ones known and unknown, covered in your blood. In your mighty name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Go ahead, Devin, hit us with that famous...
Play my theme music.
You know, real fast before I think the answer's going to be yes, real fast. Did you get that from Dion?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I was curious.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it different.
Okay, gotcha. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. No problem.
Hey, shout out to Miles Per Hour, man, with Big X the plug. April 21st, man. Check him out. Check him out this weekend. It's lit.
Hey, I'm ready to talk, you can save it. With my guys and we got it up the pavement. Listen up, it's what everybody's saying.
Round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey,
yeah.
round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Hey, hey,
Round of applause. I know they weak by the look in their faces. All of these rings got me feeling like Brady. Say what I feel, I don't care how you take it.
round of applause, give it up for the crowd favorite. Episode 12, baby.
We love y'all, man. Until next time, be blessed.
Yeah.
We love y'all. Peace out.